T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. We've got a lot of things happening today and the next couple of days, but today is focused. We're going to be talking about the top 5 moments of Naomi. And you know what I forgot to do, Katrina? I forgot to upload the pictures. So I'll be doing that as we're talking. Let's see if I can multitask. And with that being said, let me introduce my co-host, Katrina Blake. How are you doing?
Hey, everybody. I'm good. How are you?
Good. So you were actually the one who wrote this article. So kind of take us through how you decided on these top 5 moments.
It's always so hard when I have to do a top 5 because I never actually listen. I always put like a 6th or 7th extra moment in there. I always have like a bonus moment or two. And so Naomi is amazing. And, I feel like all of us at Women's Wrestling Talk has said she deserves a lot more credit and a lot more push than she's been given. So it was kind of fun, like going through the moments, but it was a bit hard just because there's a few moments that I'm like, how do I list it in the order? But I think I came up with some good ones. So.
All right. So let's get into, like I said, multitasking, because that's what we do. Let's get into the number 5 moment. So Naomi and her glow title. So how did you come up with this being number 5?
There's not too many people that get to kind of get customized belts. Like we know we get the side nameplates now for the wrestling belts, but very few got like a customized kind of a belt. Like, The Rock has his Brahma Bull belt, and Stone Cold has the Smoking Skulls belt, and then Daniel Bryan had that the Earth Friendly title. And so to see her have one that was specific to the glow gimmick of it lighting up, I thought that was pretty cool. Like she had her plates on the side, but it was actually nice to see the belt light up like her entrance, like the shoes she wear. I thought that was really cool. And I don't think any other woman that I can think of had a customized WWE title, at least recently I can't think of. And so I thought that was pretty cool just to have her kind of have that, especially with the gimmick. And it was really like nice. I'm kind of upset they didn't have it where it can be sold.
Yeah.
You can like purchase it. I thought that would have been cool if they had that. But for me, it was nice to see her kind of have something that was just specific to her gimmick, because you don't really get too many of the personalized belts where it's just that belt for that wrestler or something like that.
And then it was also, I'm sure you saw this. It was also cool to see her process in it. During Total Divas, how she's like, yeah. I'm just gonna take this belt and do it with Ame, and do it first, ask questions later. So it was nice to see like the process of it. I wish they would do more of that. Even separately to Total Divas, where we can like follow the wrestlers. Of course we have social media and all that stuff, but the behind the scenes of, like Naomi and what we saw in Total Divas, I found they were like really great moments. So kudos to her for that. Then we're going to go to our number 4 moment, Naomi and the FCW Divas Championship. So this happened back in 2010. Crazy. So let's talk about it. It's just so funny to like kind of just look at her belts and just see how she's done a lot over the decade plus, and how they are mistreating her now. But we'll get into all that as we progress. How did we get to this number 4 spot?
I like everybody. A lot of wrestling fans, when you talk about the three brands as separate, taking NXT 2.0 out of it, you think of the golden black brand of NXT and how everybody, you got Becky Lynch, and you got Sasha Banks, and you got Bailey from NXT. But I think a few people kind of ignored that the very first women's NXT title technically was Naomi, and so she was the inaugural champion, like the very first woman to hold that belt before it became the NXT women's title. But then also she was the first black woman to win that title. So it's like a double history making moment. And then she had like AJ Lee was in that tournament. So you had some pretty cool women in that tournament as well. And she kind of, came out on top. And so for me, again, for somebody, she's really athletic. Again, I feel like she does not get the level of respect she deserves. But being that belt became the NXT women's belt eventually, I feel like for her having that first and kind of being the inaugural champion was an amazing accomplishment. And I feel like, especially, I believe I have it on the list, with some of her matches that she had in FCW. And so, which is how, originally, at least I kind of saw her originally, like when I was kind of in and out of watching wrestling at that time, is like, I remember her matches. And so for me, it's just like, I thought it was like a double history moment for her. And so that's how I added it as there. Because I was like, even though it's not like one of the main brands, it wasn't really NXT just yet, that's still like an amazing achievement she got with that. And so that's why I put it as 4.
So many. What up, Nikki? Y'all early today. I mean, we are kind of early, but we kind of not. Again, like how I love giving behind the scenes. So I have like multiple calendars, not to like, it just is. And I was looking at one of the calendars and I was like, oh, yes. So I almost forgot again, Katrina, even though I put it in my calendar. So thankfully I caught it. And here we are, because for you guys who don't know, it might not seem like it, but Naomi was like my entrance back into wrestling. Like, obviously, if you guys heard the story, Austin Creed, Xavier Woods was like my official entrance, but because he was like the homie, but seeing Naomi and seeing a woman like me do amazing things was like what kind of got me, into the hook. Oh, and Santana, y'all both gonna say something? Okay. So that was our number 4 moment. So the next number 3 moment, Naomi and AJ Lee, NXT season 3. So talk to us about that one.
So I remember seeing this match originally, and then when I was doing the list, I rewatched it, and she killed it. Like I like AJ Lee too, because she's also really small, and I'm always extra about women who's kind of petite, and still can kind of do cool things in the ring. And so to see her kind of, I felt like to an extent, she may have out wrestled her a bit in that match, and I was like really impressed with it. To me, it was probably one of the best matches of that season. I was kind of sad she didn't make it. She wasn't the one who won the finals, and I was upset about that. However, it was a really, really good match. And so I felt like it definitely had to be put on the list. I think people kind of ignore her NXT, accomplishments before she made it to the main roster. And so I'm reading these comments too.
Yeah, I am too. So to clarify, because y'all was a little bit late, we already 9 minutes in the show, but for my folks, it did say 3:00, and I was like, all right, let's go. So for our number 5 moment was the Glow Championship. So right here. So that was our number 5 moment. And then the number 4 moment, the FCW Championship, right there. And then the number 3, AJ Lee, NXT. So there you all go. That's where we're at for you guys who are trying to keep up. But yeah, it's just so funny too when you do these top 5s with somebody who has had such a longevity of career, and you kind of highlight a moment like that, especially given AJ Lee's path in her career and what she's been doing and what she's not been doing, and people wanting her to come back, etc. You almost forget about that, like you were saying. So it's really interesting. And again, they put some more respect on Naomi's name because they don't know, y'all have to do the history. So that's a really great thing about doing top fives on people like Naomi who've been in the game for a long time, and you might forget because you're seeing this version of her. So, I mean, we'll even see a match like that again. That's the next thing.
Man, listen. I mean, she did her thing with Charlotte. I was so happy that people was like talking about it on Twitter. I was like, hello, she can wrestle. Y'all gonna stop the shit. She can wrestle. They just didn't give her opportunities to, and so she killed it.
Right.
It was nice to kind of see a lot of people like finally like, oh, it was a great match. I was like, well, where have you guys been? Because she can wrestle.
That part. So that will take us to our number 2 moment. WrestleMania's women's battle royale. Another great moment as well. I remember this. This was I think I was doing X-Pac show at the time, but I might be wrong. But this was another great moment. I thought this was going to be the start of the next rise.
Same.
For her.
Same.
But yeah. So take us through that. That was WrestleMania 34. So take us through how this was number 2 versus another option.
So again, it was one of those like trying to figure out where to place the moment on the list. I do remember this very well because I was like super hyped for this. Her when she won, the genuine like expression and everything, like how she like, I did this, and like the crowd was for it. Again, I was at home like, yes, finally Naomi, and I was really hoping this is going to be the moment. We were like, finally, let's get some Naomi time to do her thing. And then once again, we dropped the ball with the girl again. Always dropping the ball with her and not doing her well. But I was really hyped about that. And again, because going in, a lot of people didn't think she was going to win that. Like, they was like, oh, it's not going to be her. And I was like, okay, y'all going to stop sleeping on Naomi. And so I was really, really happy about it. And I feel like just to do that at WrestleMania, which is always the like the Super Bowl of wrestling, was an amazing thing. I feel like that's just a moment of her career. Like that's just always going to be like a top type of moment. But it was mostly just trying to figure out where to place it on the list. But to me, definitely a top 5.
Yeah, we definitely include that. It was kind of like maybe they were even just testing the moments like that. So then when Bianca did come into the picture, like that WrestleMania moment was, they were safe with it. I feel like a lot of stuff that they had Naomi do, it was kind of to test out the waters. And then with Bianca coming along, they're like, okay, well, we dipped our pinky toe in. Now we can try another way. So, I mean, that's what it seems like. But again, we need to put some respect on Naomi's name. And now I know this, it's so funny. So shout out to our editor-in-chief, Santana, because she probably saw this. So kudos to all the writers, including you, Katrina, because I say top 5 moments, and now I'm noticing there's an extra moment here. So Team Bad, I know, Team Bad in the Royal Rumble moments. It's so funny because I almost feel like if you do Team Bad, you also have to do the Funkadactyls. Especially since the Royal Rumble, we did see Adrienne come in. So it's just kind of like, why not? Why did you pick that versus the Funkadactyls?
It was hard. I'm not gonna lie. I did like the Funkadactyls, but I definitely did like Team Bad. I did like their like the shirts they had for them too. And then I think I just saw Cesaro picture with the Team Bad thing, and I'm like, see, everybody, Team Bad was definitely like one of the cool little stables they had. And while Sasha Banks wasn't really in it long, it was kind of just like her little propeller to go solo, a bit like kind of branch away from it. It was still kind of nice to just see, some women of color just hanging out, and it's not like stereotypical. Sometimes when you get those stables and it's a bit stereotypical, and you're like, all right. So that was actually just the reasoning, even though I did like the Funkadactyls. And it was like, if I would have been extra, I probably could have actually an extra bonus moment because I do never listen to 5. We're always going to have 6 or 7 in there. So that was just like that little bonus. Like, I was thinking about Team Bad, and I thought they were pretty cool in regards to like, this is a nice little stable that they had. And I kind of wished it was there a little longer, just to have, again, not stereotypical stables sometimes the WWE likes to give us. And so it was just a little extra moment because I know Santana's probably like, yeah, Katrina, because I definitely do this with every top 5 I write. Yeah, I definitely do add an extra moment or two.
Well, I mean, if you're feeling it, then you're feeling it. I really like because I've been talking about this. I'm looking for the picture. Here we go. I've been talking about this is kind of like a little bit of what I'd hope to see, and I hope I see this sooner than later, if ever. The Samoan dynasty, like, I mean, yeah, I'm in there, but why not? I haven't pulled out that picture in a minute, but why not? Like, they've had like a quarter of it, so why not put it all the way together? We did see Naomi on the plane with Roman Reigns and the Usos, obviously, going to Saudi. I mean, they're obviously family, they're obviously friends. Like, I don't understand why. And I know some people get on me about saying, well, Naomi's not, she can't be part of it, but she's married, so
she definitely is married in though. So that
all
makes
the way
family.
in.
What she married in, that is family. So
exactly. And then I think it would be amazing. I don't understand why they are not utilizing this at all. It annoys me to no extent. And then the fact is, like, when you think back to Team Bad, and they had at least 2 of them together, because let's be honest, like, Tamina's, we don't know where she's going to be the next 2 or 3 years. Like, she's been in the game for a long period of time. It's very obvious that there's a lot of wear and tear on her body. So, like, why not take advantage of this now?
yeah,
I don't understand. It's just, that was my mini thing. Oh, look at this! Shout out to Sammy. One of our writers, Rewrite for Naomi merch is available on Women's Wrestling Talk. So go to www.talkpod.com to get that. But yeah, Santana, throw me at the end. I mean, look, that picture was made. Shout out to our graphics designer, Clement. That picture was made. I'll tell you how long I've been talking about the Samoan dynasty. I was at AfterBuzz still. It was probably 2018. That's how old that picture is. And still, with me talking about it, it is what it is. All right. Apparently there's a fight in the chat, but we have work to do, so we're gonna go back. We're gonna get back to what we're here for, and that takes us to the number 1 moment, which was a really great moment. It happened in 2017, and this is kind of what I think really solidified me watching wrestling, because at that time I felt there was hope, and then they dashed their dreams. 2017, Naomi and WrestleMania 33. Really great moment. So kind of highlight what kind of got you to this being the number 1 moment.
Yeah, that was definitely one of those, again, hoping that they would do something with it. Like, it was always situations where she really like lose the belt, and like she got injured, and then she kind of had to get rid of the belt. And then sometimes, other wrestlers could get injured and kind of keep the belt until they get a little better. And so I was a little annoyed by that. And so for her to, finally have her moment to redeem that and get that again at a WrestleMania was just
in her hometown.
Yeah, to have it where, you're from. And I just thought that was a really amazing. Again, the crowd reacted the way I felt at home. And so just to have her kind of have her moment to redeem. Again, I wish they would have done more with her reigns. I felt like they never gave her, respect when it came to, but it was just really nice to kind of have her, especially with, at the time, Alexa Bliss was always like the person we always kind of saw in the title picture at a point where she was like kind of always in the picture at that time. It was kind of nice for Naomi to be the one to kind of take her off that, like, go on top of that. And so for me, that was just like a top moment. Again, it's just, I'm hoping that maybe with the Charlotte Flair match, and hopefully we can move away from her and this raggedy Sonya Deville, that we can hopefully get her away from those shenanigans. Like, I want her to beat her, like, throw some hands for the longest. And I'm like, if y'all don't get her to just one time have a black girl moment and just, sneakers, Vaseline, hair up, just one time. Give me that one time. This storyline will be worth it. Just give that Naomi one time. But I'm hoping that with that Charlotte Flair match, and hopefully they move away and we can finally see her back in the title picture. Because I feel like, I love Bianca. She's my girl. And, Becky's cool and Charlotte's cool, but Naomi kind of deserved her roses again too, and so it would be nice to see her eventually back in the title picture. So for me, it was just a really like exciting moment, and I was really really happy for her, and just like my girl, just like hype. I was so hyped for her. So that was why it hit number one for me, just because it was like again, she's one of my favorites, always have been. Even with Total Divas, and I did stop watching. She was always just so like unproblematic. Like
Mm-hmm.
she really wasn't with the drama. Like, she
Yeah.
kind of kept like she was literally a neutral party. You didn't see her being shady in the green screen room section. She was always
Mm-hmm.
just super, and I always appreciated that about her. Just like super chill and like laid back and like kind, and then again very athletic. And so for me, that was just like everything. I'm just hoping again, they do her right. I feel like I've been arguing about that like at least once a week on Twitter. Like, y'all gonna do Naomi right? Okay. I feel like it's always somebody. I gotta like, first of all, let's not. So
Right. I mean, I hope that would be the case, but it's like a loose hope, like because I don't see it. I don't see it happening, especially with Bianca in the picture. And I agree with you. I'm definitely a fan of Bianca, and I love everything that she's being able to do. But I feel like once Bianca got into the main roster, any hope that we had for Naomi as far as being a title picture versus a mid card was literally dashed away once Bianca was on the road to WrestleMania. And then she had the moment Sasha Banks. And it's unfortunate that we're in a society like that where it's just kind of like, yeah, well, like you guys have one black president, so like what's the deal? So so it's kind of one of those things where like I get it and I really hope for that, but just given the fact that over maybe the last 3 or 4 years, and there was some, she had to take some time off for personal reasons, but there was times where she was ready to go, and there was no storyline. And I think there was somebody in the comments, I don't know, a while back that was saying that with Naomi, she did an interview and she's like, well, at least there's like, a storyline, but that's a trash storyline. Like you said, this is a trash storyline. Ain't nobody want to see no Karen situation. It's giving us all PTSD.
listen.
And
I'm
we
really
don't want to
ready
see
for like
that.
you to fight. So I know it's like storyline, but I'm ready to like fight Sonya, like legit. So I need them to end that storyline because I
That
was ready to
part.
throw hands. I was ready to throw hands. I'm like, y'all gonna stop with this. I definitely
Yeah.
got Karen vibes from it. I'm like, here you go, just keep this. And she's not even like, like she's so cool, but considering like, how Bianca's like, I'm gonna keep, EST on me. Naomi is
Hmm.
so opposite of that when it comes to her gimmick, and yet you sit here acting like Naomi is the aggressive here. And I'm like, all right, see, no, absolutely not. And so I'm gonna need them, yeah, because I was really ready to fight. So yeah, I was ready.
Yeah, and the thing with that is like, who is like, was the storyline intentional? Because it's like, at the end of the day, I think we all can collectively, and it's unfortunate but fortunate, we can all collectively, we will remember this storyline based off of it, right? And I'm just really curious as did this start because somebody wrote it, or did they really not see like the parallels? Do they really not know what's going on and just think this is funny? Like, I'm really curious to see how we got to this storyline. Like, was it intentional, or was it just ignorance? And now, Naomi's just happy to be in a storyline, so she's going with it. Because that would really make me uh have lean one way or the other as far as emotion. Like, if you tried to really, like, you knew what you were doing and this is the
Yeah.
storyline and angle you want, then that would make me even more upset, because it's like, now you're bringing in something that's sensitive to a lot of people, but Naomi
It's
and
like
Sonya Deville are,
microaggression.
yeah, they're both better than that. That's like, now in this day and age, bringing up some racial stereotype with black people or Asians or Italians, whatever, into wrestling. Like, you can't do that anymore, nor do you want to see that anymore,
Yeah.
where everybody is not a monolith. Like, Italians they're not a monolith. Same thing with black people, same thing with Asians, etc. So, you don't want to see that type of stuff. You actually want to see good, you being as an author, like good fleshed out storylines, which we've seen before. It's not like it can happen. And you have plenty of time. You have 365 days. So, like, out of all those days, you tell me in a 24-hour span. You can't figure out a storyline with that whole roster that you have there that you don't use.
Yeah.
Like, for
Like,
real.
listen, I've been saying, like, y'all need some black women. I got y'all. Like, I don't. It does not take that long to do black women right. Okay, it does not take that much of a hassle to do the black women well. So you know, hopefully we can move away from this in 2022 with the shenanigans, but we
I
shall
don't.
see.
We shall see. Shout out to Chad, shout out to Amazing Tribe, shout out to Santana, shout out to Nikki. Thank you for reposting. Shout out to Sammy. So yeah, that is our top 5 for Naomi. I apologize, we did start a little bit early, but you can run it back like it's YouTube. So
Right.
like you good. I
And
know
also,
you like the live.
we legit had to reschedule this 3 or 4 times.
3 or 4 times because of me.
So behind the scenes, we literally count the dates, and we was like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this again. And so this time we was kind of ready.
That was all me. So, and that is actually perfect with Black History Month. But yeah, it's just put some respect on Naomi's name. I think we as a collective, and I could definitely say it for the majority of people, Women's Wrestling Talk. I don't know that everybody's as passionate. But just put some respect on her name. Like over 10 years in the company, has been like anything that they ask her to do, she does.
Yep.
Like she's a workhorse. And on top of that, you're not doing anything with her and she's still there. You're not hearing her say anything negative about the company. You're not saying, like, I swear to God, if Naomi were to put out a tweet before WrestleMania and say, oh, we riding tonight, I guarantee you people who didn't even plan on going to WrestleMania will show up to WrestleMania one way or the other. Like, I guarantee you that. And the fact that she has that ability to do that and she's not, that's because don't give me power. Because I'll be like, wait, so I just have to send a tweet? That's all I gotta do to get me on stage. That's all I need to do. So the fact that she has that and she's not taking advantage of it, good or bad, depending on how you feel, it's just it speaks to her character. But sometimes on the flip side, closed mouths don't get fed. So I don't know. I don't know what is being said behind the scenes, but it is quite frustrating because you have somebody with so much talent. Like, for instance, another person was talent, but he kind of, messed his scenario up, was Leo Rush. Like, I remember seeing him on Instagram and he did this backflip off of a ladder into the ring. And I was just like, so when he got signed to WWE, I was like, okay, we're about to see some things that have never been seen before. And they didn't really allow, him to show his talent. And they do that with a lot of wrestlers. And I get it. When I was on the X-Pac show, he really made mention of that. Wrestlers have so many bumps in their card. And you don't know how many bumps you have. Sometimes you might have 100. Sometimes you might have 20. You really don't know how many bumps you have. So, WWE is trying to maintain, want you there for a long time. So they say. I mean, they be cutting people the last couple of years, but at one point they wanted you for like longevity, so they kind of held you back a little bit. But the unfortunate thing is we don't get to see that talent.
Yeah.
With that being said, we know the talent that Naomi has, and they're not showcasing it. There's so many things that she can do, and it's just frustrating. I think I've said my piece. I think I fully flushed it out. I think I'm good. With that being said, where can everybody find you?
I'm literally on everything. So either type in Cat We Trust and you will find me, or Instagram and Twitter, which I am on probably more often than other things, which is on the bottom. In Cat We Trust, the E is a 3.
And then if you guys do want to find the article, you can go to Women's Wrestling Talk, www.talkpod.com. You can type, we have a search bar, y'all, because we're advancing. You can type in Naomi's name. All the articles will pop up. We do have a letter to Naomi as well. We have a lot of articles on Naomi, I just realized. But if you want to check out the article, go and check that out. Also, too, FYI, I should have put this in the chat too, because we have a lot of stuff going on in the next few days. Tonight we have the SmackDown after show. So definitely go and check that out for sure. And then we have tomorrow, I'm like pulling up this stuff as I'm talking. We have Turnbuckle Glam. So with Nikki Santana, Emily, and Katrina, they're going to be on there talking about the fashions for wrestling. I'm really excited about the show. Last show was really good. They have it monthly. I think it's going to go weekly in the next couple of months. Like, don't quote me on that, but I think this has a lot of potential to do that.
Grinding with the fashion choices. She definitely like did her thing on the first episode. I was like, all right.
I know, very much in depth, because what I had in mind, I would not have done the show justice. I'd be like, oh yeah, she looks cute in her swimsuit. Like that was
yeah, no, Nikki was ready. She was definitely she did her thing.
Definitely. So check out Turnbuckle Glam, and then we have so tonight we have SmackDown after show. Tomorrow we have Turnbuckle Glam, and then Monday we have a double header. So we have Women's Round Table with Katrina. My bad. Wow, y'all can see the picture. All these ladies will be on our round table on Monday, and then we're also going to have a Black History wrap up also happening on Monday as well. So a lot going on in the next couple of days, and then that's going to lead us into Women's History Month. So definitely go to our website, www.talkpod.com. Check out all the articles we'll go back and check out all the articles for Black History Month. Then definitely check out the articles for Women's History Month, and then go into all our social media as well, because we have a lot of things. People are going everywhere. We have the salt shakers all over the place. Just a lot of stuff happening. Other than that, you can follow me on everything at TK Trinidad. Make sure you subscribe, show some love on all our yes, Chad, make sure you are there for the after show, because I'll be seeing Stephanie and Santana work, and they do a lot. So make sure you take a nap, come back refreshed, all that good stuff. But yeah, thank you guys so much for love. Make sure you like, subscribe on all our platforms, all podcasts, all that good stuff, because without you guys, like for real, if you were here last year this time and you know the deal, where we were last year versus where we are right now, it's like night and day times 100. We're on a whole nother level. So we definitely appreciate your support. And all this is for the love of women's wrestling. So other than that, we will see you guys on the flip side. Ciao.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on